One day I will own like every single sketchbook ever made. Ever.
Hello and welcome back to my inkwell. Today we're going to be looking at this brand new sketchbook I just got from Amazon. It's going to be a fun time. Alright, let's jump right in, shall we?
I struggle with this. I actually have scissors on my desk. Oh. So satisfying. So here we are. Time to open this sketchbook for the very first time. First impressions. The paper is thickish. It's not super thick, but it's nice. It smells like a book.
Also, in case you were wondering, here is the information for the sketchbook.
So, let's get into this bad boy.
So I started off by testing out some of my most used art supplies. 4H pencils, an F pencil, some kohl erase Prismacolor pencils, purple and blue, and of course some microns, Faber-Castell, and uni pens. The last pen I used was a Bic blue ballpoint pen, and then I finished the whole thing off with some watercolor. And here's the completed test page. Everything came out pretty good actually, except for the watercolor, which unfortunately warped the pages, which you can see here. I didn't really have an idea in mind for what I was going to test, but I kind of just went into it. I grabbed my kohl erase pencil, purple of course, and drew a little dude. I kind of made him a bunny. I don't really know why, but I wanted to try out this idea where there would be something like thoughts coming out of his head. It's an aesthetic I've seen in doodles often, and so I really wanted to try this. Of course, because his head is kind of flying open, I ended up drawing his brain. It's stuck there in the doodles, kind of how I assume my brain is. And then I drew the saw because, I don't know, that seemed to make sense somehow. And then I felt someone tapping on my shoulder, and it turned out to be my little girl. I love her. This is Wi-Fi. She likes to join me when I draw. Behind her you can see her brother Gadget, but he was just chilling on the bed, ignoring me as usual. I love drawing those ghost-looking guys in doodles, and in this context I imagine that they're his emotions. They're his different thoughts and feelings coming out into his thought cloud. I also drew that book to say practical magic. Of course, it's being covered by doodles, but when I showed this picture to a friend, she thought it said Prada magazine, which is totally fine. This bunny can have dynamic tastes. Other than the brain and the carrots, there weren't really any specific doodles that I was trying to draw in this thought bubble. They were all kind of random. The crystals, there's a pencil in there, a pen, that Prada practical magic book. I really just intended this to be a test, to sketch it out, to not be perfect, just so I could see what the paper felt like. I think maybe one of my favorite things about drawing doodles like this is I get to hide faces everywhere. It's fun. When somebody actually looks at the work and they look really deeply into all the different doodles, they're always surprised by all the different things that they see. And faces kind of freaks them out sometimes. And I'm gonna be honest, I like that my art freaks people out sometimes. So I've actually been asked a lot before how I decide which doodles to use and where to put them. And the answer is, I don't. I kind of just go on instinct. If I feel like a circle goes here, if I feel like a triangle goes there, or some random polygon that I wouldn't know what to call, it just kind of flows out. Sometimes I like to put things in that fill space. Circles are good for that, triangles are good for that, but most of the time it's just what I feel like drawing in the moment. That's kind of why I like doing this. It's not something I have to think heavily about.
And here it is, my finished art piece. I actually really like this, although it was just kind of a random sketchy doodly doodle. I kind of love this. I've always wanted to do something like this where there's like a little dude and like things coming out of his head. I imagine that this is his thoughts. In general, I think the microns did really well on this paper, which is actually quite surprising because this sketchbook was kind of just picked up randomly from Amazon. Like, it was probably a sponsored link and it just kept popping up every time I typed in square sketchbook. But this came out really nice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed watching me do this as much as I enjoyed drawing it. And if you like this video, please give me a like. If you want to see more of my videos, please hit subscribe. And if you want to get notified when I post a video, hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button. And now I'm going to leave you guys with a quote. Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep, by Scott Adams. I've always loved that quote. Alright guys, remember to ink well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!